Welcome to the planet.
Where's Batman?
Fuck Batman.
What's so important about this girl?
This girl, as you call her, is far more than that. Her father, he will scrub the flesh of this world clean. But he can't arrive without her welcome.
You've always known you were different. But you have a destiny.
You pose as the innocent, but deep inside, you know you're damned.
That's Roundtable.
There's evil inside of me. Please help me.
We must work as a team against a common enemy. Let's call it an alliance.
Welcome to the planet.
Welcome everybody, it's your boy MoeCrosby back with another Earth 2 Comic Cast presents Comic-Con exclusives. This one is the big one from DC Universe's Titans. This was a very, very interesting roundtable. We had a lot of people come in and we got to talk to some of the producers and the cast members. Unfortunately, I didn't get Jeff Johns, but I have word from Jeff Johns and I'm just going to tell you what he told me. So I pulled him to the side. I was like, hey Jeff, we're not going to get you on our table, so can you tell me anything juicy about the show? And Jeff goes, hey, whatever you know about the Titans, keep to yourselves. Then what you need to know is the core of the Teen Titans, but this is not your Teen Titans. So it's going to be elevated. It's going to be a lot of more mature content, but still keeping the core of the characters. So we're still going to get the core of the characters that he at one point in his career wrote, and we're still going to get them. We're still going to get to, be familiar to these characters, but there's new things, according to Jeff, that he's bringing into this show and into these characters. But I'm not going to hold you up too long. We have interviews with, like I said, some of the producers and some of the cast members. So without further ado, we're going to get into it. And the first one I have for you is Greg Walker, showrunner of Titans. See you on the other side.
Showrunner Titans.
Okay.
All right. So,
Hey, Greg. Nice to meet you. Question.
yes.
So we've gotten season 1, and we've gotten these characters. Any other characters? I don't want to ask by name, just in case that's coming up. You don't have to spoil it. You don't have to answer. But Donna Troy, a friend really wants to know. So, is that a possibility?
Is Donna Troy a possibility for next season?
Or any future season?
I don't think there's any characters we've ruled out.
So you're not
I
saying...
think if you're a fan of the books and the runs, you're gonna see people you like.
So you're not saying yes and you're not saying no?
I don't know where we are, and I have to ask where we'll see in terms of what's come out.
Donna Troy has been cast.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's
he knows. We have Donna Troy, and we're excited. I mean, look at
we just want to see you sweat a little.
Yeah. Because when you're in the thick of writing the show and doing the show, there's a whole publicity universe around you, and it happens. It's cool. It's happening, but it's not like I don't sit down with publicity once a week and go through what we're doing.
Were you involved in, there was going to be a Titan show on TNT, I believe?
Right, yes.
Were you involved in,
so Akiva was, and when you get here, he can tell you about that. What's TNT to almost Hulu, and then there's Warner Brothers with Jeff, Greg, and Berlanti and Akiva thought it would be great for this new show. So once they had that, that's when they called me to run the show. I came and read the script, I thought, awesome. So I've been involved since then.
And with the new service, it's not like a CW show, and you feel like you have more freedom to go like a little further and like the tones and things?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we wanted to make it, you know, like a premium cable service as a show, just because it's not free TV, right? So if someone's going to have to pay for it, you have to give them something cool that they would want to pay for. And I love the CW shows. I think what they do is awesome. We're a little older. I think we're 5 years older in terms of our target audience than the CW shows, imprecisely, non-scientifically. So we could go, you know, we still have, I think, really classic stories about family and about fighting off darkness, but the tone sometimes it skews a little darker and older than the CW shows.
Are there any specific Teen Titans storylines that you guys pulled from for this first season?
Quick singles, is that possible?
I think we're always looking at those books to pull from. I think Jeff Johns gets mad at me for saying this. I think we may have more specific ones from some of those runs in the second season than we did in the first. But there are many elements that we're
We got to see in the first 2 episodes when they showed him at Hammerstein, you know, Dick Grayson at the police department and his partner Amy from, you know, are we going to be seeing a lot of Dick's non-Robin life, you know, in the series?
Well, after you saw the first 2 episodes, you see where we are. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's always a struggle for him, Dick Grayson's character, which part of him is Dick Grayson and which part is Robin, and how he has to learn how to separate the two of them or integrate the two to be able to get past the shadow. So some of that does involve seeing his personal life.
Trains of Batman, I had a chance to see the screeners the first 3 episodes. And we had the backstory of Dick Grayson, and really, you didn't see Batman, you saw the shadow figure of Bruce Wayne. Obviously, you don't want to overshadow the Batman, but is there a possibility of introducing him, like a guest appearance or anything, maybe Bruce, or you just want to kind of stay away from it?
I mean, we've stayed away from it. Look, his shadow's over every single episode of the show.
Right.
You know, his presence is everywhere, and it's a good. As Akiva says, you know, what's super cool about limitations is it forces you to be creative. And so we didn't want to put Bruce in as a real character or Batman as a real character. Though you'll see subsequent episodes coming down the line, you know, you can't. It's impossible in our storyline to avoid a confrontation.
Robin's first fight scene and the reference to Batman, just I can't wait for fans to see that.
Yeah, the trailer was polarizing, and I get it was out of context, but now that people are seeing it integrated in the episode, it seems to they understand what we tried to do, which is it's about him trying to figure out how to get past it. By the way, he doesn't figure it out just by the expletive deleted right there. It's a struggle he goes throughout the season.
That was interesting. We're just gonna keep rolling because this is a long one. This is gonna be a lot. So I'm gonna drop Akiva Goldsmith on your heads. He's gonna tell you how this thing went from TNT and finally got picked up by the DC universe right now.
Goldsmith. So here we are, indeed. We're finally seeing Titan. How's it feel? Good. I mean, a little out of body. I like it.
Is there anything in particular you wanted to do with these characters to make the fans appreciate what you're doing? Is there anything in particular that you wanted to do with these characters so the fans could appreciate the characters? Or is there anything you wanted to change a little bit from what the fans know, just to because you have the ability to do that, but still keep the core of the characters together?
Well, I think we were most interested in psychological realism, so which you can always do a little bit more of in filmed entertainment than you can in comics or graphic novels because you don't have actual actors delivering the object. So you can use performance, and therefore you can write to that you can't write to it. So I think that is something we wanted to do, and I think we wanted to sort of tell a father-son story. I think it's interesting to have a Batman story where Batman is omnipresent and absent. Is the fucked up father that so many of us, certainly I had, who's always looming over everything and kind of, determining reaction without actually being in the scene. That was interesting. It's also, I think, fun to be able to play with people's assumptions about Batman without using them. And I think finally there was something appealing always to me about really this boy had the method. This is a 10-year-old kid who's taken off the streets and taught how to fight before he's taught how to live. And I think we all want to see what that did to the psyche of a character in a more realistic sense.
What's it like doing the first live-action version of Jason?
It's way, you got to see this kid who plays him is amazing, and it's really fun. What was really startling were the scenes between Jason. Because what happens is Dick is fundamentally a straight to Jason off the wall behavior. And literally I could watch that shit.
Well, you've produced a lot of shows. What is it about Titans that kind of drew you?
I just have been a fan of the comic. This one I've been carrying around in one iteration for almost 8 years. First as a feature, then as a TV show that just no one would ever make.
TNT.
But yeah, TNT was the same. That was another iteration of the show. Had that and it kept getting right up to the edge and somebody said,
you can get hectic.
Oh no, we stuck with it, and then we were actually about to make it plan, and then we started Sapphire Top service, and we said, let's do this instead.
Or favorite Titan of yours that you'd like to see in the show?
I mean, God knows, I really like Inside. I mean, that's like above my pay grade. But I'm really happy with who we have right now. So, and there's a little more coming that we haven't quite hinting at the outset. So by the end, by the very, very, very end of the season, I'm short of Cyber, I'll have everybody out.
Did you find any challenges in dealing with, not just the first live action version of these characters, but the characters have been around so long? Were some challenges of trying to figure out what versions of what characters to pull in after all these years?
What we did is we kind of this is fundamentally the Perez role to begin with, right? And their versions of the characters. What we did is we looked through the mythology to find out which iterations had the most psychological weights. Because again, that was sort of an outcome, which is how do we make the people
I totally understand that feeling.
And then you're just dealing with the truth of what is entertainment today, which is almost all IP. It's no original content anymore. So fundamentally, the greatest gift is the greatest curse, which is people have expectations, right? Which means they know your thing, which is great, and they know your thing, which is different.
Like I said, folks, we're rolling, so we're just going to keep this boat sailing. Now we're going to jump into the character interviews, or the cast interviews, I'm sorry. The first cast member I have for you guys is Anna Diop, my babe. Anna, thank you for the selfie. I'll post that somewhere in here. So Anna Diop, who plays none other than Corey, who Corey is, Coriander, Starfire. Let's get into a character interview real quick.
You look amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Were you in the audience?
Yes. Alright, fantastic.
Outside of Hammerstein, every single person that wanted to take a picture, you know what, it's your office is going your way.
No, I did see
with all of them. So it seems like you're genuinely enjoying, the reaction to this. How's this feeling for you?
Well, I love our fans. They're the reason why we're able to do what we do. So they mean a lot to me. I really do love the fans. And it means a lot to me that we had, a full house and the reaction was what it was.
ditzy girl.
Yeah.
And then something called the New 52 coming out, and there was an oversex start, and there was a lot of backlash. But the way you did it, in the hotel room, kicking ass, was just like, oh my god, that's my Starfire. The warrior born, the warrior, you know, not a little, because of the movie, a little naive, not like what it's like closer to the books.
Thank you so much for saying that. She's a badass. She really is. And I did try to bring some of that kind of playful, naive thing about Starfire too, because I thought that was really adorable and fun when I was researching her. But when it comes down to it, when it comes down to business, she'll hit you out. Yeah, exactly.
It was great to see on screen.
I'm so happy to hear that.
One of the greatest comic romances of all time, at least in my biased opinion.
My biased opinion as well.
Good, so we share it. So hopefully I'm going where you think you're going. Starfire and Dick Grayson. This interview's over. What's her relationship with Dick Grayson going to be like in the show? You know, how are they going to react to it?
You know, it kind of starts off as one thing and turns into something else and then ends up somewhere else. I can't say too much about it, but Granger is freaking awesome, and we had a lot of fun trying to create the dynamic between us. And it's not always pretty.
Well, neither was their romance, so.
True. Yeah, true.
Priest blew up at their wedding.
Right. Not the best way to.
So I have to ask: is there any point that we get to visit Tamaran? And what was your favorite? What was one of the favorite things you did shooting the show or this season?
To your first question, we do see a bit of it through another character that's introduced. I cannot say. I feel like they'll kill me. I can't say.
Are you sure?
I cannot say. So we do see a bit of it through another character that's introduced later on in the season. And and we hear her speak the language, which is really cool, and we see the language. So that was, I love doing that. That's one of my favorite parts.
This is the first time this character has been portrayed. Do you feel any sort of sense of responsibility to please the fans with this character?
I did, but I did later on. Almost like when I was almost done filming, which was good. When I got the role, I was just really focused on doing the work, and physically too. Like I had a lot of working out to do with Starfire, as you know. In the later comics, it's very hot.
Next up, ladies and gentlemen, I have for you guys Brenton, and we all know who Brenton plays. Brenton plays the man himself. Fuck Batman. He plays Robin. And we're gonna get into we're gonna get to know a little more about how he feels about the character and what he knows about the character. I definitely asked him about the suit, so let's get into that real quick.
So get started. Your version of Dick Grayson is unlike any that we've seen before. What has it been like for you to embody this iconic character in this way?
It's been cool to be given the opportunity to create something that hasn't been seen before, for one. For two, I think the way the industry is going now, putting stuff online and Netflix, and especially with the DC platform, it allows us to, explore these characters in ways that are a little darker, a little bit more mature. We can show things on screen that we couldn't show a while ago. So it's been fun as an actor to portray the character and do my best to give it that grounded sense of realism.
Out of all the cast members, you seem to do the most amount of stunt work, obviously because of the fight team. How was it doing all that?
It was great, mate, but I do have to say my stunt guy was brilliant. He was really, I don't know where they found him, in Toronto, I guess, but Mustafa Baluk could do everything, all the flips, all the stunt styles, all the fighting styles. So I was really lucky. He looked like me, you can kind of shoot him from behind. So a lot of the times I'm standing there ready, just and they're using him. And I'm going, guys, I really want to do this. Can we use me? It was a lot of fighting that I had done before, so the hand-to-hand combat stuff was really, film stunt fighting, big, using angles and in tight spaces, in motels or whatever it was. But the new styles that I learned were mainly kickboxing and the bow stuff. Yeah, and later, hopefully, the Kali sticks for a different character. But yeah, it was cool. Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool experience, Yeah.
What did it feel like when you saw the suit for the first time and then you put it on and you looked at yourself and you said, "This is why I'm playing"? Like, what did it feel like in that moment?
Well, the building of the suit took a long time, so it was multiple visits to LA to the costume designer's office to try on little pieces here and there. The first time I put it on, it wasn't done yet. It was just a bunch of foam on me or whatever it was. So I can't remember the tights or whatever. And man, it did not look good. It did not look good. It really didn't look. And there was a few of those fittings, so I didn't feel like this is badass until the final fitting when I got my plate on and was colored. A lot of the great aspects of the suit and what they were really trying to work for was two things. Can I fight in it? Is it practical to the actor? And is it also does it look like it's worn? Because I wanted it to feel like it was tired and worn, like I am in the show. And I think it's important, especially for fans who know the prior history, to feel like the suit has some scars in it as well. So I wanted there to be pieces taken out, scratches here and wear here and there. So that took a long time to create.
How's he going to react to Corey? Because he has a very big reaction there in the comic.
We basically form a team in taking responsibility of the younger members of the group. So that's where our relationship starts. One from basically protecting him. We both don't really know who we are. Corey, quite literally, she doesn't know who she is. But Dick is trying to change, so he doesn't know who he wants to be. He's learning that as we go along in the show. So that's kind of where our relationship starts, and it kind of breaks away and comes together and breaks away and comes together all throughout the show.
With Robin being such a legacy character, were you nervous at all playing? When you first got casted,
Not really, mate, because the script was, when I read the script, I thought to myself, I could do this. It's really invested in telling the story of Dick Grayson.
Okay.
Not really Robin or not really Nightwing or not really anything else. There was a lot of time spent from the writers. They really wanted to spend that screen time telling the people who this character is, and there's comfort in that as an actor, because you have
still make it your own.
You have reasons to do things, and you kind of. I felt like I could get into the character a little quicker than I would if I was just playing, the Robin guy.
Next up, ladies and gentlemen, I have for you guys Tegan Croft. Tegan plays Rachel, who's AKA Raven. We're gonna get to know this girl to understand what she feels about this character. We're gonna get to know that right now.
Oh my god, crazy. Well, of course, Robin is the lead, and it's all about his journey and helping Rachel. But it is crazy to have this massive TV show, and I'm like a big part of it. I'm still having trouble getting it in my brain, but I'm so grateful. Like, you have no idea. I'm just so grateful to everybody who has helped me along the way, and who have just been supportive.
Raven's obviously a dark character, but she has many more layers to her, especially when it comes to her relationship with her father, Tracker. Is that going to be delved into at all in the first season?
Well, a lot of the story, a lot of Raven's identity is about her not knowing who she is, and part of that comes from not knowing who her real parents are. And a classic comic book backstory for Rachel is, of course, trauma. And this show is based on this. Can't say that much.
Fair enough. Kind of had two questions for you.
Yeah, totally.
Your personality seems really bright. And you look at that smile. You just seem so different than from the character you get to play. So what changes personally did you have to go through to be able to play the character?
Well, a lot of it came from like the costume, like getting myself into character. A lot of it came from the costume, like seeing myself in the wig and the makeup and the costume, which was all dark and not at all what I look like. So when I look in the mirror, I didn't see Tegan anymore. I saw Rachel, which really helped me get into the character. But of course, on set, I tried to stick to my personality. I didn't want to lose myself at all in the role, so I was still like bubbly on set. But when we started to film, I definitely toned it down quite a bit. It was funny actually when I first heard about the audition. My mum told me, I'm like, "Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure it's not like stuff or anything?" But yeah, I think that being different to the role really it kind of helps too, because the line between myself and my character is very clear. So it's easy to kind of flip that switch.
Second, do we get to explore Azrath at all? You can't.
I can say that. Oh man, I don't know what I can say. I will say that.
No, we really
no,
won't.
of course not. No, the reporters won't tell.
Most trustworthy people.
Throughout the series, she learns more and more about her power, and gains more control. And the first season is focusing on her finding out that I can't say too much. I can't say too much. Ask Jeff Johns.
And neither confirmed nor denied.
Yes, exactly.
Is it fair to say that she's looking to Dick Grayson as a surrogate father figure?
Definitely. So Rachel had an adoptive mother who she found out wasn't her mother. Like she thought she was her mother, but she's not. So she doesn't know, and she thinks her father died. So she doesn't know at all who her parents are, and she's so lost in the world. But Dick Grayson shows up, and they form such a bond, very similar to the bond that Batman and Robin formed, very parallel in the relationships. So I'd say definitely that Robin is definitely a surrogate father, but don't tell Brenton, he doesn't think he's old enough.
We also see in episode 3 that Beast Boy and Rachel meet for the first time. There seems to be a connection. Is that kind of a...
Well, what I'm going to say is that even though in real life me and Ryan Potter are different ages, we're 9 years apart, in the series we're supposed to be the same age, we're teenagers. It's not very clear how old, but definitely he's the one who can make her laugh. So.
Make you feel like a normal kid, with all the madness that's going on around you.
Exactly. Can you do my interviews for me?
Let's do the ventriloquism thing or something.
Next up, I have for you Ryan Porter. Ryan Porter plays Beast Boy, Garfield, Gar, whatever you want to call him. He had a very interesting approach to what he took to learn about the character before he went into the show. So let's find out what he thinks.
There you are.
I am here.
Making all of
What's
our
going on,
dreams come
guys?
true.
You calling him?
All right.
Oh yeah, you call me here? Yeah. So we should actually just incorporate you into the Titans because you have telepathic abilities.
There you go.
You're the second person that has. No, you're the third. Because Raven and
Teleman.
I will join you.
By day, he's a telemarketer. By night, he's he's an integral part of the Titans with his telepathy ability. I like it.
Yeah. So, tell us about Gar Logan and how. What kind of personality is he going to have in here? Because we've seen the versions of him in the comics, with Will Rankstein, and
Teen Titans Go, the like kind of party-loving, mini frat boy. How's your guy set apart?
I tried to root him in every iteration of Beast Boy that has existed. The Doom Patrol comics, the Wolfman Perez iteration of the Teen Titans, the Jeff Johns version of the Titans, Teen Titans Go, and even the one-off like Tiny Titans. Even those, like I pulled every, I pulled from every version that Beast Boy has existed in, and I tried to find a realistic, because DC is grounding these shows and trying to make them as real as possible, but his heart is the same, his humor is the same, and he looks a little bit different, and it's for a specific reason. It's designed that way. We are exploring a gray area of Beast Boy that we have never explored before. He was a part of the Doom Patrol, and then he was suddenly a part of the Teen Titans. In the series, we will see that gray area of him leaving one family and joining another.
So it is established that you are part of the Doom Patrol as well?
I mean, that's not necessarily confirmed. I just said a family, so I don't know what to tell you. But it is what it is, right? Moving on.
So, what did it feel like when you heard you were going to be transformed? When you actually saw it?
Yeah.
How did you?
It was a rough cut, so I mean, it's cool in my mind. I already knew it was going to be cool, but see, there's a reason why no one wants to see a rough cut of anything, because immediately there's a reaction of like, ugh. And it's the same exact reaction that like the first initial trailer got. It's like you until there's enough content, you can't make a solid judgment. Right. And when I first saw the tiger, I was like, okay. But when I saw the final version of the tiger, I was so happy with it. My mother's zodiac sign is a tiger. Mine is a boar. I have always been the boar to the tiger, so to be able to be the tiger is a full circle moment for me, and it's a trip. That's awesome. It's an absolute trip. Yeah.
What's been the most challenging thing about taking on this role of these most iconic roles?
Pulling back the physical comedy and the dad jokes as much as possible. There are specific points that they hit and that they land, but my idea of Beast Boy, I think with the fans' idea of Beast Boy, I had to reel back a little bit, and I couldn't, go one after another. I had to let a joke breathe, and there's a serious moment, and then maybe another joke, but it couldn't be as rapid fire as Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go is, because that's for an entirely different audience.
In other words, probably no waffle.
Come on. We'll see. No waffles, but there's other food items. Sorry
guys, I got still away from the
phone. Thank you so much for your time. Last up, I have for you guys the beautiful Minka Kelly. Minka plays Dawn Granger, aka Dove. She has an interesting take on the character, and she's going to tell you how she feels about it right now.
All right. So
shall we start?
Yeah. So what have been some of your favorite moments so far?
Some of my favorite moments have been just exploring this relationship. The relationship between Hawk and Dove is a very codependent one, which I find to be very relatable. I know I've had my share of codependent relationships, and I think we've all had our share of dysfunctional, toxic relationships, and there's just a deep love between these two, and it's flawed. And I'm just very attracted to the brokenness of these characters, and I just love the world that Jeff Johns and Akiva Goldsman have been able to create and find such a great balance between making this the most grown-up, gritty, raw version of a superhero show while also keeping the superhero aspect of it, which is very important and a lot of fun. And so it's been fun, and also getting to know all these other characters and all the girls, and it's just the whole thing has been really fun.
What
were you familiar with the characters of Hawk and Dove before you got signed on? And what kind of research did you do for the characters?
And they sent me a stack of Hawk and Dove books, and I got to reading. And I fell in love with her instantly. Yeah, I love the warmth and the nurturing part of her, while also strong and, you know, not afraid to get her hands dirty and do what she needs to do and fight when she needs to fight. I think it's an honor to be able to play a character that, you know, the nurturing side is not mutually exclusive with the strong side, you know? It's like someone else was asking me about, you know, being warm and kind, but how do you be strong also? And I just don't think that the two are mutually exclusive. I think that to be strong can also mean to be nurturing and vulnerable.
And in the pilot episode, their relationship is in a very, you know, interesting place. How would you describe it? Is it kind of not the 7-year itch, but, you know, just, you know, the runs or, you know, the kind of fork in the road?
I'm sorry.
How would you describe the state of their relationship in the pilot? You know, at least from Dove's point of view.
Yeah, you get to see Hawk and Dove in episode 2. And,
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw them the same night. It's blurred together.
Yeah, I know. It seemed like one long joke. I would describe their relationship to be a very codependent one, but one with a deep, deep love for each other, and I don't know that they can actually live without each other, and it's a little bit possessive and unhealthy, but also a kind of love you don't get very often.
One of the things we saw in the flashback of episode 2 was the difference in their fighting styles. Hawk is a bruiser, tank, just goes in there, hitting, you know, while your character Dove is just very agile, uses her hands against each other, very...
Yeah, that was really fun. That was just also a testament to our stunt coordinators and also Akiva and Jeff John, making sure that we all had our own very specific fighting styles. Where, like you said, Hawk is the brute and he just likes to blow stuff up, and Dove is a dancer. And her dances are a lot more choreographed. And going through the choreography and going through the fight training, he would get through his and memorize it so fast, and it would take me so much longer, and I always felt like, he's getting it so quick. And I forgot, it's because mine is a lot more intricate, and it's more of a dance, and his is just throwing
Okay, now I'm done. I got to walk you through some some showrunners and Akiva Goldsmith himself. I brought you word from Jeff Johns, and I brought you some of the big characters that's going to be on this show. Last, before I leave out, we got to see a preview of a couple of the episodes, and dude, from what Jeff Johns said, from what these people have said, get ready. That's all I gotta say is get ready. This show is about to be one of the better shows, comic book shows coming out this year. From what I saw, I really liked. From what I've heard, I really liked. Hopefully, you guys watch the show. Watch this interview before you watch the show. I have some more stuff coming from New York Comic Con. Again, this is not the end of it. From Earth 2, I got stuff that I can't even. I want to tell you about on this video, but I really can't introduce it on this video because I want it to just be about this show and the characters. Anyway. Like as always, you can find this episode on YouTube or on our podcast streaming channels. Earth 2 Comic Cast is the name of the channel. Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play Music, Stitcher, TuneIn, Audio Mac, Anchor FM, wherever you find our podcast at. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank you for listening, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace.